Well, these are the days as an angler you physically dream about. I'm on Western Port, Victoria. It is a glass out. I'm with Michelle Brittain. Now, Michelle, I have 2 questions for you. Is that okay?
Fire away, Paul.
Question number 1, are you a little bit excited?
I'm very excited, as you can tell, with a smile on my face.
Question number 2, what do you think of the old 795 Game King?
I'm very impressed with this boat. It's so comfortable to ride in, and this deck is insane. Look at the view.
And we got to take it up a notch. We're going upstairs. We're getting a few little nibbles down there. I think it's time to go overfish. Any chance we had a sleep in this morning, you could make a couple of wraps while I put some more baits in. Let's do it.
Let's go.
This is going to be pretty cool. That's what you want. Yes. Oh, solid hook up. Oh, he just fell off. No. No. Oh, I'm getting a bite in the outside rod there. That has got a really nice touch up. Let's see if he comes back. I just got a hit on this one as well. If I manage to set the hooks on this fish. I reckon I have. I reckon he's been swimming towards me. Look at that. I've got, what have I got here? I've got a snapper. Here he comes. Look at that. And at this size, these fish will literally be in plague proportions. Now you can see my 2 Gamakatsu circle hooks, 6060, right in the corner of the jaw, working just beautifully. These fish are coming to Western Port to spawn, and at that size, probably one of the best eating snapper you're ever going to come across. I've got a bit of a problem here. 3 rods in the water, we've just arrived. Snapper, 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 but 2 fell off. I need to get some new baits on. Oh, I'm puffing and panning.
When fishing Western Port, we tend to use circle hooks. With circle hooks, you don't have to strike, you just let the fish hook themselves, and away you go.
Oh, go, go, go! You got him, you got him. I was just about to explain that the best bait for these snapper in Western Port is fresh calamari. So, Shell and I went out this morning. I can call you Shell, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Because it's such a beachy field. So Shell and I went out this morning, caught some big calamari. That was the plan, and the idea then is to turn the calamari into snapper. Now, I think it's working.
This definitely feels like a good snapper.
It feels like a nice snapper. So we've got a school of fish, I reckon, moving through here. I can see them on the Hummingbird every now and then. They sort of come through in waves. And when you get one bite, you get another bite. At one stage before, we had rods going dunk, 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 dunk. The trouble is a lot of them are very small pinkies, so they're stealing the bait and not hooking up. This one, I reckon, though, is about 1.25 kilos. And the Gamakatsu 60 will be hooked in the left-hand side of the jaw.
Wow, that's a good guess. We'll see if you're right.
Of course I'm right. I said we'd come out today and catch snapper and the conditions would be amazing, didn't I?
Oh, it's magic. Absolutely magic.
And when I said, do you want to come fishing with me? You said you think it'll be worth it. And I was very confused, but it'll all make sense later. Now, here comes your snapper.
Yeah.
My prediction's looking pretty good.
I think we've got an even bigger one.
My prediction's looking pretty good. Oh, that's a nice fish. Look at that.
Oh,
beautiful.
Amazing
Just swing it this way. Just slowly bring it up to me. That's it. Now, that fish is well hooked, so I'm going to swing away. Now, I don't want to be a bit of a smarty pants here, but I said 1.25 kilos, and I said that the Gamakatsu 60 would be in the left-hand corner of the jaw.
Spot on.
That is the left-hand corner of the jaw, and that fish is about, well, 1.251 kilos. It's nice to get it right sometimes.
Always right.
My wife will know. I'm always right. Yeah. Well, that's what I keep trying to tell her. I don't get away with it though. These fresh calamari rings are absolute dynamite baits on both snapper and gummy sharks in Western Port and a lot of other places. Because the tide actually runs fast, it pushes that in and out and just vibrates and just looks so good in the water. Those 2 hooks there, the top one is snelled to my 60-pound leader, that holds the bait. The second hook there is literally a keeper hook. That just sits there. And as you see, the hookup rate is absolutely fantastic because the baits aren't too big. We're gonna, oh, let's go, go, grab that. Go, girl. Now, I haven't even got my fish in the box, and you're on, and this other rod on the outside's going. I'd say you're in the middle of a pretty good bite here, Michelle.
This is awesome. Those head shakes, they get me every time.
Another beautiful fish. It's about as good as they get. Obviously, we like the big ones too, but we not complain.
These ones are perfect barbecue size, Paul.
They're such, well, I need to buy a bigger barbecue. This is unbelievable. The biggest trout we're having at the moment. It's hard to film because there's fish coming in. That's go, look at that rod. Go, Shell, go. That's a better fish, I reckon.
Stretched. Oh yeah, but
Holy moly is all I can say. I'll just grab your fish for you again and swing it over.
It's a workout, but a fun one.
And look at this system working. If you can grab the sinker for me, just look how good this is working. Like that fish there, again, same front hook, corner of the jaw. That back hook, it's doing nothing. It was basically just holding the bait. And fish of this size, they're taking 6.0 gamma circles. So you can catch a small fish, but you can also catch a monster fish. We've gone through lots of name changes too. This guy used to be Chrysophorus auratus, then he was Pagus auratus. Now his name is...
Snappy Snap.
No, Fred. He just told me. His name's Fred. That's it. You're on. See how he pulled it away?
On again, Paul. I think
I just needed a soul. I need to quench a thirst because of all the fish I've been watching you wind in. Tell me a little bit about WIRF. That's a good fish. Tell me about WIRF, because you did say, oh, do you think it'll be worth it? Women in recreational fishing. Why should women go fishing? Is it fun?
It is absolutely fun, and it's not just about the fishing, it's about getting yourself outdoors, enjoying the environment, and just being surrounded by like-minded people. And it's great for mental health as well.
So if people want to join WIRF, how do they actually become a part of it? Is there a fee, or you just get online?
No, so it's totally free. So it's a community Facebook page.
Yep.
So all you have to do is jump onto Facebook and search Women in Rec Fishing, and they will basically ask you a couple of questions to make sure that you're female.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's a monitored
I can
site.
imagine what one of the questions will be, but we won't go there. We're not going to go there at all.
No bananas.
And it's a safe site. Like,
It's a safe site.
so what's that mean?
So basically it's a space for women to feel comfortable in, to be able to, just show what they're catching or ask questions that they might think that are silly about fishing.
If you're a lady, you want to get into fishing, or you're into fishing, you want to learn more, jump on board WIRF, Women in Recreational Fishing. It is a fantastic project. I reckon this is the snapper of the day so far, by the way.
This is actually drawing my arms to a pain.
Got a bit of arm pump, have we? I feel so sorry for
Well,
you.
I have been catching all the fish all the day.
Don't you do a bit of surfing? Don't you get a bit of leg pump?
I
Isn't this?
do, but
That's a nice fish there. I would have thought you'd get more tired surfing than catching snapper.
No, the waves do all the work for you.
Oh, that's
this is
beautiful.
An epic
That's a
snapper.
nice fish. Snapper dapper do. I do love this.
It's starting to get a little bit bigger, Paul.
That's a really nice fish. Now, I'm not being sexist by holding your fish. I'm just literally trying to help you out. But if you want to hold them, you can.
Do you know what? If you want to look like you're catching all the fish, that's fine.
Look at that hook. Perfect every time. I love it when a plan actually comes together. You'll see this rod getting hit. Now, because we're using circle hooks, I can't pick up the rod and strike because I'll pull it out of his mouth. So what we do, I wait till the rod loads. Now, when the rod loads, either line comes off the reel or the rod tip bends down and stays bent. So I think he's nearly on there now, but the worst thing you do is get excited, grab it and rip it out of the holder. There we go, see, it's loaded. He's on there now, I know, because he pulled away and I don't strike. I just pick it up and wind the fish in. And it's such a great way to fish. But there's my beautiful snapper, and these things are coming into Western Port literally by the thousand to spawn, and they are loving this fresh squid. Look at that.
I'd love to help, Paul, but I'm having lunch. Yoo-hoo.
Go! Bring it up and go!
Woo! How's that wrap for you, Paul?
I could use the old corny joke, I think this is a wrap, because it's a television term, but this is ridiculous. I'm halfway through it. Did you actually enjoy yours?
Oh, I did. I managed to get a few mouthfuls in.
The only two things I've done apart from re-rig rods, cut squid, is have half of this, and I did apply sunscreen, in case my mum asked. Did you?
I did.
Always important to slip, slop, slap. I'll get rid of my wrap so I can come and help you, eh? This is just amazing. So we've got a snapper on here. This rod is going whack, whack, whack. Look at it bounce around. And this is the stuff you dream of as a fisherman, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I reckon this is the sort of thing you'll be telling your grandkids about one day, because you'll just never forget that day you smashed the snapper. Now, all that rod's going. There's a lot of fish this size, but there's definitely some bigger fish in there. There it goes, look at that, that's getting hit. So, I better try and catch that one, so this one's going back. This is wrong town, absolute wrong town. Off you go, mate. And he's a very happy camper. Look at him go down to that current. Oh, there he goes, there he goes, there he goes.
Oh,
Yep.
there is no rest for the wicked, Paul.
Just get that one to the bottom. The biggest trouble we're having at the moment, we can't keep a bait on the board. We've been to cut up a squid for like the past 10 minutes. This snapper actually took squid strips that were scraps. There's a bit of a tongue twister for you. I'm keen to get a nice big fresh squid out. Those big rings look so good and they love the white. But if they're eating the scraps, I suppose we can't complain, can we?
Exactly.
It's still a good thing. And I reckon we just got to keep working through these fish and we'll get a good one. But have you had a snapper bite like this before in your life?
No, I haven't. This is actually the best snapper bite that I've ever had, and I'm having an absolute ball.
Well, that is absolutely awesome. That's what I love to hear. Every day you go fishing, it's like buying a Tats Lotto ticket. You just don't know if you're going to get nothing, or you might actually become a millionaire. And I reckon, have a day like this, it is even better than that. Yep, that one's going, that one's going. And this one's going too. You're on, I reckon. Just wind into it. That was a pretty hard hit. Got weight?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Ooh, I like those head shakes.
Those head shakes are really good.
That's a beautiful fish.
Amazing
Look at
colours
that.
on this one.
Yeah, would you like me to do the honours?
Thank you, Paul.
Absolute pleasure.
Let some
Whoops,
line
just
out
bring
for
this
you.
way. That's it. And that is another beautiful fish. How dark are these things? Like, that is a seriously dark snapper. I'll tell you who he's dark on. I think he's dark on you for catching him. Well, believe it or not, this is what we're using for bait for these snapper. Magnificent southern calamari. Western Port's full of them. Now, these things taste amazing, so I'm sure there's people out there going, no! But when you put these things out for bait, the snapper just cannot help themselves. An incredible thing about calamari, they come into Western Port to spawn too. And they have what's called sneaker males. And little baby males, they actually sneak up to the female, pretending to be a female. When the big males go off and fight to get her attention, little sneaky male goes in, and guess what? He does his sneaky business. Just a little calamari fact. Oh, that's the one. She's loaded. Locked and loaded. Now, this is either a small fish with a large attitude or a bit better fish. It's giving me real crazy head chase, hard time. Sometimes because of this current, when they actually come up, they come up like this all over the joint. And this is just about average for what we've been catching today. But the one thing I will note, look at the blue fins on this guy. That indicates to me that he's not long come in from the ocean. The longer he stays in the port, the less of those beautiful, vibrant colours he will actually have. And that is a better fish, if you don't mind, Uncle Arthur. Remember the old comedy company back in the day? The reason he actually fought a bit better, he's been chook hooked, so that top hook had him in the mouth and fell out. That is an absolute fatty, so that would have been there. Because I was pulling from the bottom, he was actually pivoting. But that's sort of starting to get into a absolutely beautiful fish. A fast water rig's a little bit technical, so I'm going to run you through it. 2 6-0 gamakatsus, one tied to the end with a uni knot. Second one, actually snelled to the line, so it's locked in place to hold the bait in place. 60-pound instinct leader. That then runs down to an Optia swivel. That Optia swivel there, it swivels just beautiful. Then that is an easy rig. So the easy rig slides on the line. I've tied 20-pound mono to that, and on the end, my great big sinker. That loops off and on. That slides up and down. When the fish takes the bait, you can't feel a thing because that moves. And if you do get snagged on the sinker, the 20-pound line breaks, so you still catch your fish.
We're on again.
How long's that been in the water, Shell?
30 seconds.
That's a real one. I thought the bail was still open because it was bouncing. And just try and keep that rod tip up a little bit higher. These are pretty heavy rods. Oh yeah, it's a real one.
There we go.
It's a real one. So yeah, this literally hit the bottom and bang, there's a snapper on it. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, when they're pulling string, that's a good thing. Now you might wonder why we're using such heavy gear for these.
Oh, listen to it sing.
Such heavy gear for these snapper. It's because they're also my offshore gummy rods. And we weren't sure today whether they're going to go offshore, chase the big gummies, or come inshore. I didn't want to bring 400 rods, so that's why they're a bit heavier than normal. And I'm hearing that Saragossa sing. And speaking of Saragossa, Shimano released a brand new range of Saragosas this year. OMS, oh my Saragossa, they are mind-blowing. The Vanford is damn good too. And when you get a fish starts to pull line, obviously you know it's a bit bigger. He's got the tail down, he's going, oh, stop it. I rang a friend before, Chris Casa, and he told me to fish in this area early this morning, Casa Fishing Charters. And he said to me, you'll get small fish, but be prepared to sit through, because, oh, I've got another bite over there, don't worry about that. Sit through, go through the bite, because you will get bigger fish eventually.
This is
I'm going
great.
to get the net, is that okay?
Yes.
There is the net.
Oh, my arms are stretched on this one, Paul. This is an absolute cracking fish, I reckon.
Do I need a bigger net?
Oh, I don't know.
Now, two things. Just be aware, don't get the braid on this stainless when it pulls you down because it's a big fish. Oh, it's a nice fish. And when he comes up, he might have another good run in him. So just be aware of that too. That's a beautiful snapper. That's the fish I hope to catch today.
Yes.
Stop it. Stop it.
They're here.
We're just going to take a short break from this service and we'll be back shortly. Well, we're hiding in the shade because we have been hit by the sun, hit by a heap of snapper. It's actually nice just to get a little bit of shade on the face. When I invited you fishing, did you ever think we'd have a session like this?
It's been an absolute insane session and I'm so incredibly lucky to have been here today.
I think we need a rest. Now, the big question. When I said Western Port, you went, oh, I'm a Port Phillip Bay girl. Are you now converted to the great Western Port?
I think you've convinced me.
Sensational. It is an amazing part of the world. Do yourself a favour, get out on Western Port. Also, check out what this girl does on Instagram. She's an absolute star. And don't forget WIRF, Women in Recreational Fishing. They catch some pretty nice snapper.